So, we have returned for Snowpiercer Season 4. I'm a little late on making this video to the first episode, so I'll probably upload the first and second episode's reviews quite close to each other to make up the gap before episode 3. Anyway, let's get into it, and obviously, spoilers ahead. Firstly, I'll mention even just this first episode feels really disjointed from the rest of the show. Part of this will be due to the fact that we have a new environment in New Eden that we haven't seen before. However, it's mostly due to the massive gap between seasons. It may just be me feeling this way, but I feel like it may be a challenge coming back this late. However, regardless, I still quite enjoyed this episode. We open with a scene that has already been shown from the announcement trailer. Till and Ben getting ambushed by an anonymous group. This takes place after the rocket explosion we saw at the end of the last season. We also see a bit of what life is like on Leighton's side of the train in New Eden, approximately 9 months after the big rocket, so about a year after the split of Snowpiercer and Big Alice. They've built somewhat of a community and created a council to run the community. They're also focusing on communicating with Snowpiercer to tell them it's safe to follow, but so far have been unsuccessful. We learn in this episode that Snowpiercer is seemingly getting closer and closer to coming into signal range, and not exactly everybody wants to get in contact with them. Some, such as Oz, have people on Snowpiercer that they have no interest in seeing again. Furthermore, we learn that someone has sabotaged the radio relay and unplugged power cables, making our group unable to get Snowpiercer on the radio. Seemingly in the last year, Alex has become somewhat obsessed with her scientific pursuits. Apparently New Eden has been having earthquakes. I don't know what the importance of this is yet, but I'm sure we will find later on. Zara and Oz have quite a cool heart-to-heart scene. Oz is clearly suffering from some form of PTSD and is struggling to deal with his new environment. He's been hearing voices while up in the mountains, however some evidence may point to these voices actually being real, with Hovey having heard movement as well earlier in the episode, so clearly somebody's around. Then suddenly Audrey arrives unconscious to New Eden in one of those weird single car train thingies. I don't quite remember what those are called, although she comes with a faint warning that someone is coming. Then in the confusion, Dr. Hedward then takes Leighton and Zara's child. Hedward and an unknown masked person then run into Zara. She's of course not too happy that someone is trying to kidnap her baby, so she fights back. And although it happens off camera, we can assume that she was thrown off a cliff. It's a very strange creative decision to me to have this happen off camera, but the way they do it is alright. It is, however, very strange that Dr. Hedward's betrayal does come out of nowhere. However, if I had to guess, I'd say this may have something to do with Wilfred. She's likely still loyal to Wilfred, and deep down we can assume that she might have been in contact with him over the last few months. And to me, this would make the most amount of sense. We know Wilfred is still out there somewhere, we just don't know where. At the end of the episode, we then get to see the end of the intro, with us jumping to 9 months ago, with Till and Ben captured by Agent Phil Coulson, apparently. They are a part of a group called the International Peacekeeping Forces. I'm assuming this is a play on the United Nations peacekeepers that we have in the real world, except these guys are seemingly a lot more kidnappy. I actually really liked the way they showed us the start and then jumped back to it at the end of the episode to introduce these guys. It works quite well, and with the end of the episode, it's a good hook. It makes you wonder who these people are and why 9 months in the future are they seemingly randomly kidnapping children. Overall, I really liked this introductory episode and look forward to what's coming up. It's also very cool to have a set that isn't just Snowpiercer, as after 3 seasons it was getting a little old, but now we have New Eden as well. I feel as though this season Leighton's likely going to be fueled by revenge. Meanwhile, the last 9 months of Snowpiercer and what has happened to the inhabitants since the IPKF boarded is unknown. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm curious to hear your expectations for this season, so leave them in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.